Dream it, believe it, become it. Hi, we're back.
Come on down.
Happy New Year, Spence.
Happy New Year, too.
Health,
May it be a prosperous New Year.
Yes.
But like I said, nothing don't change. We just keep on with it.
Come on. Same positivity, same upliftment, same knowledge, same understanding, same wisdom. The fight is right. That's what we're here about. Wow, listen, 2020 is done now. We're moving through 2021.
I want people to realize this part here. You see, everyone was saying 2020 vision, 2020, 20. Yeah, it was 2020 vision for real, right? The vision was the realization that it's down to you now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And if you ain't got a plan and you're waiting on government to give you water, you're waiting for government water, you're gonna be in trouble, bro.
Stamina water. Trust me. I mean, listen. There was a time we used to laugh at Michael Jackson with a mask thing.
Yeah, you see, I posted that. Yeah.
Yeah. I see it.
Michael Jackson.
But everyone now. Yeah, we called him Wacko Jacko, but now it's like we are the wackos.
Exactly.
So everybody's got the mask on, and yeah, it's something, man. Listen, 2020 is gone, and I just hope that this year is just a better year for everyone, because I know some people might not have said it, but in some way, shape, or form, 2020 has been a challenging year for you, whether it's inside the ring, outside the ring, personal life, family, everything.
You mean, and also to the cruiserweight Kevin Mitchell. Remember that outlaw who was trained by Brian Lawrence?
Yeah.
His mother passed away today.
Oh my goodness!
Right, exactly. So I mean, my condolences to his family. Yeah, I mean, he's a big supporter of anything that we do to him. So, like,
oh man, Kev, big up, Kev. Condolences to Kev. I mean, it's just there's not really words you can you can't. There's nothing. But Kevin's a good one, and condolences, brother.
Yeah, man. But on a lighter note.
Yes.
On a lighter note.
Yes.
On a lighter note, before you start willing me up. On a lighter note.
Trust me.
We've got a very, very big fight coming up in the early hours of tomorrow.
Yeah.
The early hours. It's coming on good. Listen, Elwa, we're not paid by the zone, right?
Yep.
I'm going to be real. For $1.99, you cannot.
God almighty. Right? £1.99.
$1.99. And to tell you the honest truth, just for the Akam Barak show, my two bridges out in America, I'd pay $1.99 just to hear them two talk boxing.
Yes, right? Yes.
Right? Just for the fact that that's the support, man. Them man are they're real brothers, man. They're like, they're on this thing, right? So just for that, because they got a daily show, yeah.
Okay.
Right, they got a daily show. I'm still waiting for the Fight Is Right invite. I'll come back. I'm still waiting for the invite, but I know it's coming, right?
Yes.
But for that, then you got to think of all these fights. I don't even think that the Luke Campbell fight is being aired on Sky TV. It's not.
Wow.
It's on the zone. Wow. So, and that's the Golden Boy link up. And
so basically, you have to literally download the app, really, because it's an app service, right? It's not because it's not a TV channel.
Yeah, and then like the app, if you got smart TV, connect it to your TV, and away you go, and you can't go wrong because like in the space of a month, we've had some really good fights. We had Lomachenko, then we had Simon Smith versus Canelo. Now this week we've got this rising superstar, Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell. You can't go wrong with it. That $1.99, bro. If you had £2 in your pocket and you lost it, you wouldn't cry over it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But look what you're getting. So no one can't tell me that the Zone app is not value for money. And plus, they've had me on a couple times on their jabs show as well. So I've got to big them up for that because they still hollered, man. So if they're hollering you, they're hollering you.
Yeah. Before we start, Bobby Wright says, "How are other broadcasters going to compete for 199?" You can't compete against
You
that.
can't compete with that.
But I heard a man say, I think it was Volt said, "Don't worry, that 199 is soon going to go up."
Yeah, it doesn't matter because right
Yeah.
now they got us
Yeah.
for now, and if they start to take liberties, we're just going to crack screams.
Crackscreens.com, bro. Streaming
Right,
service, bro.
right.
Crackscreens want to get us some money.
Yeah, for real.
We'll put your thing on the description bar. But let's get right to it before we bring in questions and answers from the panel. Right. So the fight we're about to break down is it's great. It's great because listen, usually at this time of the year, people would even fighters don't want to train at this time of the year. They
Bro,
don't.
they want to eat turkey.
They want to eat turkey, and usually you might get a fight late February, early March, but to get a fight of this magnitude right at the beginning of the year, I think you got to take your hats off, especially in the current climate as well of Corona. So
1,000,000% because it's a very, very good fight.
yes,
Right? Let's just be
yes,
real. And there was a lot of questions or question marks hanging over somebody who is perceived as his next golden boy, this superstar talent in Ryan Garcia. But
yes.
I weren't feeling him. I'm just going to be real.
Yeah,
But,
so I want to ask you the question. Yeah, go, carry on.
no, go on, go on.
No, because that's one of the things I want to say. I wanted to say, like, how do you evaluate Ryan Garcia's skills? Because I already know what it is, but I mean, I jumped in there because you said you wasn't really feeling
I
Ryan
wasn't.
Garcia.
You were the one that was feeling him, telling me, boy, spare me this mumbo jumbo. Right? Spare me this foolishness, bro. But
Yes,
now looking back at the kid and like there's this thing 30 days so it's in chronological order the last 30 days in the build up to this fight, which I've been watching studiously, and I actually warned to him. I think, like, you know what I mean, it's all right having all of this being the social media star and everything else, and he lives in the same areas, all these big
California,
YouTubers and these guys, right?
yeah,
And he befriended him. He's smart to that. But it's not only that, but he comes across well. He speaks well. He's a good-looking kid, and he's got
yes.
ridiculously fast hands. And I mean ridiculously fast hands, right?
Mm.
But I'm saying, in all fairness, for all the hype and bravado, you ain't fought no one. But the Frenchora knockout, that is a highlight reel knockout that he delivered there. We just
You mean Fonseca?
Fonseca.
Yeah.
Fonseca. The Fonseca knockout, brother.
Vicious.
Jesus, I've never.
Let's bear in mind that Tank took 8 rounds to knock that guy.
Exactly.
And Tevin Farmer had a unanimous decision against him.
All right. And my man clapped him out. But in saying that,
yes,
like, Tank done it first.
Tank done it first. Tank was the first to stop him, I think.
Right. Yeah. So Tank done it first. But regardless of that, it was the destructive manner in which that knockout came that made man have to sit down and think, like, rah, this youth could be something for real. It's not just, I mean, the youth's actually got something. But when I went back and I watched his story, I'm warming to him. The fact that he's with Canelo's trainer,
Eddie
Reneso,
yes,
makes me even think like these guys must know something, right? And then also, and this is no disrespect to Shane McGuigan, but it's amazing how people get so critical of corner work by certain trainers and not critical of corner work by other trainers.
Come on, see, don't start the thing.
No, I'm starting to, you know me. I'm not business anyway because no one can't do me nothing, right? And that's that. No one can't do me nothing. The only thing that can happen to you is what you think is going to happen to you, right?
There you go.
Okay. Now, Leo Santa Cruz versus Carl Frampton, the second fight. a few years back. You know? Shane McGuigan panicked in that corner. Right? Shane McGuigan didn't look very comfortable in the first Tony Bellew David Haye fight. He didn't. And you know this thing is about energies. And deliberately held the fight in Dallas because in Dallas, you're allowed to have capacity crowd. So you can have 10,000 people there. Right? Out of the 10,000 people, who's going to be cheering for Luke Campbell? Right?
He's up against it, mate.
He's up against it. And also, Luke Campbell, I rate, very good fighter. But I believe that, remember, he was a bantamweight in the 2012 Olympics, you know?
Yes, a bantamweight, 2012 Olympic gold medalist at bantamweight. Yes.
At bantam. And remember, that was my pro debut for BBC as an analyst. Because
yeah. I remember. He was that T, took that T. Remember, I'm down there. I'm doing this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember.
Come. Tunde's like, you don't come an idiot, right? So I'm looking at this, and these are the things that I have to look and say, boy, you know what? When we're looking at this kind of fight, when Luke Campbell won the gold medal, there was a lot expected of Luke Campbell because he was like this golden boy kid.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There was a lot expected from him, and then he went going unbeaten. He was picking up the wins, and what was it? 5 years ago, was it Yvonne Mendy, the little African brother, French guy?
Why you just say French guy? Yvonne Mendy.
No, yes, he's an African French brother. Right?
2015 it was, Spence.
Yeah, it's 2015, yeah?
Yeah, 5 years, you said it.
It was on the same bill as Dylan White versus Anthony Joshua. At 02. I remember because I got there late. I was working for Sky then. I got there late and he was down in rounds, and they said, he was down. Yeah. He got dropped in that fight as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm sure I remember he got dropped.
I'm sure he got dropped in that fight.
Yeah, he got dropped early on.
Yeah, in the 5th round he got dropped. Right? Yeah. And as much as Mendy's a decent fighter, you're an Olympic gold medalist. You're not going to be losing split decisions to guys like Mendy. Right? And then it was, I had certain problems, and all the rest of them. Boom. All right, cool. But you lost that fight. Even though you beat him in the return. Yeah. But you lost that fight. Then, what was the fight?
Linares?
No, the Jorge Linares fight. We got to give him his due, you know. He boxed good in that fight, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of people at the end of the fight, you know, was giving it to Luke there. But again,
I don't think Campbell won the fight, no. I'm being honest.
Yeah, again, he lost his father, yes.
Right? But it is what it is. You still lost that fight.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Then you flip the page to, you have to give him all the credit, but he exposed Lomachenko.
There you go.
I said it. Lomachenko.
I said it.
Exposed it.
That's where you saw the first vulnerabilities of the Matrix.
Yeah, the glitch.
The first glitches, the first glitches of the Matrix.
The glitches stuff. Luke Campbell fought like he was an agent in that fight.
yeah, Agent Smith.
And the black glasses.
Yes.
So when I'm watching this now, I'm saying to myself, hold up a second. Luke Campbell seems to me that, you know what I mean, he's always the bridesmaid and never the bride. I'm being real. I think this is the time I think is calculated because he hasn't fought since the Lomachenko fight.
Yes.
That's not going to help you, brother.
Yes, that's very true.
Right? And you're all southpaw, but I don't believe that you've ever been someone remotely as close when it comes to hand speed, what you got with this Garcia you?
Well, I mean, we need to look at it carefully because, Luke Campbell, 33 years old, as you said, quite rightly said, Spence, 2012 Olympic gold medalist at bantamweight, and his three notable losses was 2 years apart, each one of them. First one, Mendy, 2015. Second one, Linares, 2017. And then Lomachenko, 2019.
And this one's a year and a half now.
You see?
So you're going to fight with a loss, though. You're not going. You haven't built up no. Yeah. You're going. So it's showing you that Oscar De La Hoya's ain't going to take no chances with this. If this goes points and it could have swung to Luke Campbell, he's not going to get it.
Yes, and again, and I mean, I think people really have been so taken aback by the social status or the social status of Garcia that they haven't really looked at his boxing, because this is a 15-time amateur champion. You don't win 15 tournaments if you can't fight as an amateur. He didn't get to a gold medal. You understand? But he's a 15-time amateur champion. And you spoke about the Francesca fight, but even the fight before that, the Duno fight, again,
bro. That was a
KO first round. So his 2 fights under Eddie Reneso, is 2 first-round knockouts against notable guys. Fonseca, as we said, 8 rounds with Tank, unanimous with Tevin Farmer. So he's improving. He's on the rise, and he's only 22 years old. So I think, again, it's like, as you said, this is you heard the advert with Hopkins. Man, this ain't no hype. This is special. Hopkins is gassing up the thing. I don't know. That's because he's part of the promotion, but but you said it as well.
Gassing up the thing like you work at Texaco.
It's not just Hopkins though. It's notable trainers that are speaking about this.
Yeah. Goose. And
he's been around the block. I think Shakur Stevens was on our show, and he's kind of shocked that this fight is happening.
He is.
And he doesn't believe that Garcia's ready for it. But as you just said again, and I quote it, Ryan Garcia is to Oscar De La Hoya what Anthony Joshua is to Eddie Hearn.
Exactly. And at this stage, you ain't taking no chances. I want you to realize this part here now. You are not taking no chances.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to do your homework. And it's like, you got to think it's going to be, what's it going to be, something like 14 months since the last time that Luke Campbell's fought. 15 months. That's a long time,
It is a long time.
It's a long time.
But one thing I would say about Luke Campbell, he has taken the sport of boxing seriously.
Since when?
Since the beginning. I've never seen.
Seriously, you would have never lost the first decision.
No. We can't. Come on.
I'm not hating you. I like Luke Campbell.
No, we're not talking about the wins, but I'm talking about the professionalism. And this is his chance to get back another shot at the world title. So it's kind of like a last chance saloon for Campbell, but it's the age of opportunity for Garcia. And I just think that I'm asking you, do you think there's a case that they could be underestimating Luke with all that experience he's got?
No. They've gone in there and took Luke Campbell because Luke Campbell is a puncher. He's not an outright puncher. And this kid's faster than Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell doesn't really fight with a bounce on his feet. If Luke Campbell had a bounce, I'd be more reluctant in saying I'm choosing Garcia. But Luke Campbell hasn't got a bounce in his feet. But what he is a southpaw. But when you're a speed merchant, you don't mind being up against southpaws because you have to be in range to shots, right? So
yeah, and the left hook is the key shot for that
the left
southpaw.
hook's a key shot for a southpaw.
And even
throw the right hand.
You see him keep on doing that. He keeps on doing that.
Yeah.
He keeps on doing that. You know, and I mean, I don't want to go off subject, but it is on the subject. You see that little the zone thing where he's talking about God said clapping with a left hook, and and in the changing rooms or just when he was going out, it's like some energy come in his hand, and he saw the guy, and he's like, "Bob, you're giving me 0.1 of a second," and he, boom, just how he visioned it, and he said, "This is a serious kid."
All right.
This Garcia boy is a serious, and I think it was Chris Mannix who said Garcia is the most important fighter this century for boxing.
Nah, I ain't gone too far.
Bro, he ain't saying that about Terence Crawford. He ain't saying that about Evans. He's taking liberties.
He gone too far, bro.
but what I think he's saying is that in terms of the marketability of the young man,
yeah, it's nuts.
He brings something different to the sport.
Yeah, it's nuts. I ain't gonna lie.
So again, why would they risk that against Luke Campbell? And that has been my argument from, not argument, but that's been my concern from the very beginning. That why would Oscar gamble? I mean, listen, it's not that he's young, he can come back from a defeat, but I think with all this momentum that has been built around him, I mean, literally,
he can't lose to Luke Campbell tomorrow.
He can't. With 7.8 million followers, he could help the zone. Him one could help the zone survive. Just that one fight.
Wait there, not even Canelo ain't even got that much followers.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's ridiculous.
You know, so there has to be that. But when we're talking about boxing, who has Luke Campbell really beat?
Bro, I'm not disrespecting Luke Campbell. I like Luke Campbell. There ain't no notable wins on his career. Go on, go jump on box it right now.
Tommy Coyle.
There ain't no notable wins on his career, Tom.
Derry Matthews.
There's no notable wins on his career. Derry Matthews was not old man at the time when he fought him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to look.
You see Derry Matthews had the hair transplant thing done now.
I ain't seen him.
He was bored. He's going bored. So when Derry Matthews fought my man, he's going bored. All of a sudden I see
Derry Matthews was going bored from a long time. But he was
totally bored at that time. And now Derry Matthews got his hair back.
Wow. I'm looking at his record. The only name that really pops up is Dali Perez, but that's only because Corella. Didn't Corella win a world title against that guy?
Yeah. He collar fought him twice. But you have to remember, the broke up that Corella gave him the second time. What would Dallas Perez have left with him?
Yeah, I get that.
Dallas Perez got broke up by Corella.
Yeah, and he lost against Gamboa before that. Corella lost. Yeah, KO. Yeah. Corella stopped him.
Exactly.
He did get a draw against Maurice Hooker though.
But I don't care.
And then that was the fight after the Maurice Hooker fight. That's when he fought Luke Campbell. So I guess Luke Campbell stopped him in 9 rounds. Yeah.
Who has he beaten?
No, he hasn't.
What key names has he beaten? And I'm not knocking Luke Campbell because I want Luke Campbell to win. But I'm just listen. Before when this fight was first muted, which was early last year, I was like, nah, man, they're taking a piss. He's gonna get broke up. But since seeing how this youth performed, I could see him winning on points, man. That's how I see the fight going. I don't know how you see it, but that's what I see. I see him winning the fight on points. If he's not Luke Campbell, then I'm gonna start making up bare noise about him.
You know what? I've never said points. You know me, I'm a KO man. I like KOs. I'm not gonna change it. I'm gonna say Garcia stops him.
Okay.
To the body. To the body. Again, this is another question. Luke is a seasoned fighter. Luke is a man. As young as he looks, he's 33 years old.
He's a big man.
He's a big man. And that might be the only question why I'm fluttering under the points. I might be going with you for points. But then I say, if it goes to points, does Garcia really have that boxing skill? I haven't seen that.
I think when you're as fast as he is, right? I remember you're training around greatness. So you're training with Canelo.
Yes.
That's going to rub off on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to rub off for you. And Canelo's a man who'd be just happy to just brock you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
and I'm telling you, if the round is remotely close, Garcia is going to get that round.
Having said that, then I'm going for Garcia by stoppage, 6-8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's open it up to the fans. The fans they're on here, so we're ready to take questions. You know, if you want to know about boxing knowledge, the knowledge is here. The man who is a walking box wreck. And the one and only Spencer Fearon. Norman Barton says, Happy New Year. Gary, you're going to start letting off some questions. Man behind the cam. Rav86 says, Garcia versus Campbell. Big fan of Garcia. Good for the sport. But Campbell has lost twice when stepped up. Stoppage late rounds, Garcia left hook, speed, power. If Luke drops his right hand, lights out, mate. What are you saying that, Spence?
It got a point. That's kind of what you think.
The same thing.
Yeah, he's got a valid point. But the reason why I'm saying that would just prove to me that the guy is very, very special.
Right yes, now, if he does that.
Special. The things which I'm taking into consideration with Luke Campbell going into this fight is that I don't business what was going through your mind. You still lost to Ivan Mendy.
Yeah. That coming like the brother that beat Undo. What's his name? I remember, and then remember Undo going into the Floyd Mayweather fight had something like 30 wins, 39 wins, 39 KOs or 38 KOs because he had one loss, but that one loss was to a joker, and I could never ever get past that. When I remember when that Floyd Undo fight was happening, I said, "Fam, this man lost against one guy in your court. He ain't beating Floyd. I don't care how many he's knocked out before then." So I definitely get what you're saying about the fact that he lost against Mendy. And I think Mendy's had 5 losses on his record since. He's going through a little unbeaten streak, though, Mendy. But yeah, he lost to Luke Campbell.
And
Luke Campbell beat him.
And that's not me being bad mind again. I'm just telling you how it goes, bro. You know what I mean? And when you have those losses, yeah. Wait a minute. Who did it undo? It was in London where you lost, you know that? I'm sure that.
Yeah. It was your call. Is that your call? I'm telling you, I'm gonna look.
Campbell.
Yeah, something like that. Anthony Campbell. There you go.
Rough house man, but he never no skill on that. He just come to clap you out, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
Anthony Campbell knock you out.
Yeah,
and that's the same kind of analogy that I got to bring to this one here. That's no, like I said again, I don't want man to think that I'm hating on Luke Campbell. Quite like Luke Campbell because I told you got that kind of synergy there with him from when I commentated on his fight versus John Joe Nevin in the 2012 Olympics. But I just got to keep it real. They would not listen. This is a numbers game. This is a numbers game, and the higher the monkey climbs, the more is exposed. Do you think they would take that kind of? They could easily have shipped in someone like a Gamboa for him to beat up. Easily, they could have found someone like a Gamboa for him to fight, for Garcia to fight and beat up, and they could still hype it. Oh, Gamboa was a former world champion, and it's we're using this fight as a measuring stick to see how far. And they could have got away with it as well, because the guy got so much blinking fans. They say, yeah, right. They could have used that. He said, nah. Outside of the world champions, and who is there? Who's there? And they said, yeah, Luke Campbell. And it's an easy fight to make because Luke Campbell's with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's fighters now fighting on DAZN as well. It's an easy fight to make. And that's what's happening.
Remember, the Garcia was due to fight Linares.
I know it was.
And even when that fight was made,
I mean, what's around? They must know something we don't know.
That's exactly what I thought. But this could actually turn out to be a better fight, because again, Luke Campbell, is it his time? Is he just a nearly man that always gets up there and then unfortunately just loses by way? Or is it his night? Could it be his night, Spence? Could it? I mean, you've said Garcia about points, but
listen, anything can happen. But nah, bro, I can't see that one. Sorry.
Okay. October Red, the lovely October Red says, "Good evening, gentlemen, and Happy New Year to you all. Luke is a very technically sound southpaw. However, I do think Garcia will win by KO within 7 rounds because of his agility, speed, and his team."
And you hear that part there?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
His team. What's his trainer's name? What's his name?
Eddie Renaso.
Renaso, yeah?
Yes.
You see, when Canelo beat Smith 2 weeks ago, Canelo in the change room says to Renaso, "I will never let you down, coach." You know what I mean? Because it's us in there. I have to respect that because the fact there is a fighter that is given the dues unto his trainer. Now, Canelo's the biggest star in boxing right now.
Definitely.
Biggest star in boxing. You know,
just behind Garcia's just behind.
Right, exactly. Yeah. One in 3 Mexicans. Mexico has a population of 130 million. So 1 in 3 people watch this young man when he fights. That's serious, you know? So if that's the case, that's 43 million people watch Canelo fight. But Canelo was turning around and saying, "My honor and respect is to my trainer." Do you not think that's not going to rub off on a young man in there who's idolizing Canelo?
Absolutely.
Of course it is, right? And so when Red October's talking about the team, it is the team, but it's whether you show homage to the team so it can kind of encapsulate itself to
transfer
forward. And that's what's going to
happen. Because I saw one thing with Garcia, and he said, "Man, Canelo gonna beat the shit out of Callum Smith, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of that." This is the young man talking, not me. He said, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of Luke Campbell."
You see?
He said he's a good fighter, but we're just on different levels. That's how he's talking. He's talking like how Canelo should talk. You know what I'm saying? But he's this young, brash, fast, flashy kid. You know, the second coming of Oscar De La Hoya. And I just feel that take the boxing ability away, I just think that, people, you just have special, isn't it Islam where they say, "So I don't want to bring religion." That there's 3 givens. You're born, your birth, your wealth, and your death. And so this guy, I just think that, the way they're talking, I mean, I'm yet to see it, but they're just talking like this thing has been written for him.
Rob, I'm just saying, I know guys who do the scouting out in America for MTK Global.
Yes.
And they're saying to me, and I trust their opinion, I ain't going to call their names because I don't want to embarrass them, right? Yes. But they're telling me like, yeah, the kid's special.
Wow.
And I'm saying, I can't really see it like that. But
yeah,
I can't see it. But but we shall see.
Yeah. I mean, listen, again, Saturday's not far away. They're both weighed in on weight today. Luke was 135. I didn't even catch Garcia's weight, but Luke was 135 on the button.
They both were.
They both were. They both look in good shape. I know you felt that Campbell looks a bit bigger.
Yeah, Campbell looked big to me. I'm being real, man.
So, it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight, however long it lasts. Can you see Garcia really going in there and knocking out Luke in one round the way he has in his last two?
No, I can't see that. Because you know what? When you get two good fighters in there, fights never really end in 1 or 2 rounds because they're two good fighters. It usually will go late because they're good fighters and because they're not gonna make schoolboy errors or things like that. Fights usually go late. And one thing that I have to give Luke Campbell is a very, very good listener, and he's gelled with Shane McGuigan, right? Shane McGuigan is a decent trainer, but Shane McGuigan's come from lineage. His dad being
heritage.
Yeah, it's come from it. So it's already downloading his memory banks just by his birth.
That's correct.
Right? So, and also we got to give Shane McGuigan his dues as well. He's a very good amateur. You know? I remember seeing him fight a couple of times. Shane could fight, you know.
Yeah, he was all right.
He could fight.
I saw him. He was all right. Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I don't think this fight could go early, but if it did, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked.
Bobby Wright says, "Do you think Luke will underestimate Ryan because he has fought the better fighters?"
No. Well, you know what? Yes, in fact, you're right. You know why? Because I'm hearing the talk. Their mindset is, he's just a kid. He ain't need a creation.
Instagram. Yeah. I heard Shane
say that. Need a creation. Right? But like I said, the Fonseca fight was the guy? Fonseca. That fight there showed me that you've got something.
Yes.
Right. Yes. That fight there showed me that you've got something.
But I would go so far to say, take away the Lemachenko and the Linares fight. Other than that, Fonseca he's younger, he's fresh, he's not in the twilight. You know, he's given some fighters some work.
Some proper work as well.
Some work. And you know, for the young man to just blast him out in one round is serious. I mean, a couple of months before that, he fought Alex Diganami and got a draw at Yuku.
Demagani, yeah.
Your Bridget.
Yeah, I used to manage him. Yeah.
Oh, you used to manage him. Okay, yeah.
He fought Hard Knocks. He lost to Mickey Coveley.
Oh, yeah. I must have been right then. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Coveley stuck it on him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You know, Mickey's one of them, man, they stay in your chest all night long.
Yeah, stay in your chest like Benelin, bro.
All night long. Big up Mickey
Coveley. Your chest like White Rum.
Yeah, original West Hammer. But, you know, and so Alex is a good technical kid, you know. Decent. Very good. You know, very good fighter. And, you know, he got a draw with Fonseca.
Yeah, and my man clapped him out like it was nothing.
Like it was nothing. No respect.
All right. Even worse that you made that
analogy.
Parallel. Bro, he's gonna block up Luke Campbell.
Yeah, good to see that the watches are going up as we talk. Peace and love boxing. Boxing Rob's Boxing's fault says, one concern of mine is Garcia fights with his chin up in the air. Campbell needs to be able to make Ryan pay, and if he can't, then he gets stopped himself.
All right. Well, this way to say to yourself is this: is Luke Campbell a concussive one-punch knockout artist? Right, guys who fight with their head up in the air or their chin up in the air, right? You can get caught a couple times. If you're being caught by a guy who's not a concussive puncher, what will happen is you'll make the adjustments in the fight because you get caught. Oh, well, I got caught. Let me just lower my guard. Let me lower down my chin. Now, difference is this: guys who have pulled out of fights where they leave their chin up in the air. Go watch Mike McCullough versus Donald Curry. Was it round 6? Sorry. Donald Curry throws a right hand to the body. Mike McCullough goes right uppercut, left hook over the top. Because every time a Donald Curry would draw back, but would put his head up in the air. And we did that. He just lined himself up to get caught in the left hook.
What about Harold Graham?
Yeah, when you are a concussive puncher. Harold Bomber Graham, when he got knocked out in 1990, what was that? December 1990 by Jason Jackson. right? He was battering Julian Jackson. That fight was in Spain. He was battering Julian Jackson. As he's battering Julian Jackson, same kind of thing. He went in to throw the shots and he's trying to draw back. He put his head up in the air. Julian Jackson to the right, opening through the big shot. Boom. Put Harold Glam to sleep. Right? Literally. You have to be a concussive puncher. Doesn't matter. You drawing out with your head up in the air. I would say like, don't let Garcia do them kind of foolishness if he was fighting Tank, because Tank is a concussive puncher. So you go put your head in the air and Tank go throw a left hook at you, it could be all over.
But right? Aaron Pryor used to have his chin up in the air, bears. Bro, when he fought Alexis Arguello, his chin was up, bro. His chin was like this. He didn't care. He was just
right. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Not only that, but you got to be ridiculously strong. Aaron Pryor was ridiculously strong. He was like some little Mega Man.
He was original Tank, because actually from Baltimore, isn't it?
Yeah, from Baltimore. Right?
Is that what they used to call? No, they used to call Aaron Pryor Tank.
No.
What they used to call him?
The Hawk.
The Hawk. That's it. The Hawk. Yeah, the Hawk. Yeah.
What time is it? Hawk.
Yeah.
But if we look at it like that, you have to be in there with concussive punches.
Okay.
And if you're in there with a concussive, then you make the mistake, you're gonna get paid for it. Luke Campbell's not a concussive puncher. He's a hurtful puncher, but he's not a one-shot book. Oh my God, you're dead.
Yeah, because I actually thought that he hurt Lomachenko on a few occasions in that fight.
He did listen to me. After I'm hearing Lomachenko's, what's this? Normal Button says, you mentioned earlier about the obvious confidence that De La Hoya has in Garcia. Has he got it wrong with any of his he has up-and-coming fighters in the past. Was Canelo with him when he lost to Floyd? Yes, Canelo was with him when he was with Floyd. But here's the difference. Canelo for that fight got $8 million. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Got $8 million to fight Floyd. And we don't know what Oscar De La Hoya drew for himself.
Yeah, right? Because remember, Oscar was promoting with Canelo before Canelo come to America.
Okay.
So they built up that relationship, and then they come into this thing together.
Yeah. But also, I'll tell you the next one. Danny Jacobs, when he fought for the WBO middleweight title for the vacant crown, and he got knocked out. They miscalculated that one as well.
Yes, against the Russian.
Yeah, the Russian that guy was a good fighter, you know?
Yeah, he was it Pirog or Jirov or something like that? He retired.
Pirog.
Was it Pirog? Yeah.
Yeah, Pirog.
He retired undefeated, didn't it?
He retired undefeated. He had some ailments and he's something wrong with him.
Okay.
But the guy was a good fighter. So yeah, there had been times where they've called it wrong, yeah. But with a superstar like this, they got air. You can make mistakes when you're fighting a Floyd Mayweather, because that's one of the greatest ever to do it, right?
Yes.
I don't think they're not making mistakes. They haven't made any mistakes on the come up though. When a kid's on the come up, they haven't made
mistakes. Interesting. Off the Canvas Boxing says, where does Garcia rank in the lightweight division if he were to win convincingly? Let me answer that one there.
Go on.
I'm going to say I'll put him number 2 behind Teofimo.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll put him number 2 behind Teofimo, above Tank and above Haney. And I'll tell you why Teofimo's number 1. Because he's just taken a man's 3 belts, a man that was regarded by some, Neo, The Matrix, everything. And he's just got and ripped that away from him. So I don't care what it is, what it looks like. Teofimo has to be the number 1 lightweight, just based on paper. We've all got our favorite lightweight. My personal favorite is Tank, but I'm just gonna say, the numbers don't lie, the stats don't lie. So you got to put him up there, being the number 1 right now. But if Garcia KOs Luke Campbell, he's number 1 or he's number 2 or joint 1. That's how I'm moving. I don't even care about 3-4.
Nah, he can't be joint number 1, Tony. That's getting too funny now, bro.
Yeah. Because
Give
let me.
Lopez his credit.
Yeah. All right. So all right.
Apart from you, nobody gave that man a chance.
Yes.
Right? And and you know what the worst thing is this? He exposed Lomachenko because Lomachenko's bitching like a little bitch.
Yeah, he's like Wilder right now. He's moving like Wilder.
Yeah, worse than Wilder.
He's moving like Wilder.
Worse than Wilder. He's moving worse than Wilder, brother. Because we know something's not right with Wilder. But
so who would you, I mean, if Garcia, where would you rank Garcia in the lightweights, Spence?
I'd have him number 3.
Number 3.
I'd have him number 3.
I'd
have Teofimo first.
I can see why you go.
Tank second. Right? Yes. And then my boy third. I'd have him third.
Well, are you saying that because of how Tank dealt with Santa Cruz?
Yeah. That was impressive.
But we know Santa Cruz can't punch, bro. Santa Cruz is one of them man there that throw punches, and a man's head don't move. You get what I'm saying? So, my brother Caden said that, and I actually agree with him. He's one of them fighters that will throw so many, and it depends what kind of boxing fan you are. If you're a fan of a man just throwing punches and nothing ain't going on, like you're Napa. That's how Napa used to move. I remember Napa. Napa had all the skills, but he just couldn't punch his way out of a Rizzler paper. But
exactly.
It was
that's right. Pete McDonald, your block, son. How'd you like that?
Yeah, Peter McDonald's gone long time. But you know, so Santa Cruz victory was impressive, but Santa Cruz done well in that fight, Spence.
He did. But Santa Cruz is a well-accomplished fighter. He's a multiple world champion. He's a man that can fight. Right? And remember, the reason why I have to respect Tank so much is because he disciplined himself enough to get down to the weight. He got down to super feather, right? And he done his job.
Yes. That was smart matchmaking. That was Mayweather-esque matchmaking. Collect up the 2 belts, you know, raise the standard, make himself the draw and start controlling who he wants to fight when he wants to fight. So that was great matchmaking from Floyd there. Matthew De Zorza says, what tactics should Campbell deploy? Should he take a risk and force Garcia on a back foot, as Garcia might struggle fighting backwards? That's a very, very good question, Spence.
Yeah, you know what? It's a good question. And I would say for him to jump on, if you're dealing with a speed merchant, jump on him. Close distance, jump on him.
But isn't that dangerous? Isn't that dangerous though? Because if you jump on him, you know, you leave yourself open for these fast counters.
Bruv, he's a kid. Jump on him, punch arms up air. That's what I would say jump on him. Because if you right, and then once you backed off and you're retreating, you got to use timing as its highest echelon, because we know that timing beats speed.
Timing can beat speed, yes.
Right? We know this, but boy,
it's a serious one, because I remember the only thing I can think close to that is when Vernon Forrest fought Sugar Shane Mosley. And Sugar Shane had the hand speed, but bro, the way Vernon timed that guy and clapped him with the right hand.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, so timing, we know timing can definitely beat speed. But that's a great question.
Sean Lewis, I want to answer this guy.
Who?
Sean Lewis, he's put a message up there. Go deal with that. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Spence, Tunde, much respect firstly. Spence, you said 2 good fighters don't have fights that end early. Hagler, Hearns, 3 rounds, right? Question mark. Now I'm going to deal with you on this one, yeah?
Come on. The knowledge.
It's me you're talking to, right? What was that? That fight was April 18th, 1985 in
Break it down. Break it down. No box rec. The walking box rec.
No box rec, right? Now, what I'm going to say is this. I'm saying usually fights of stature of two good fighters don't end early. The reason why that fight has gone down in the analogues of history as one of the greatest fights ever, certainly the greatest first round I've ever seen, right? For those two caliber of guys to go at it like that. Because usually two good fighters, they don't go at it like that, even though they possess punching power. They don't. Reason why? Because they're respecting, or they have that respect value of knowing the commodity that's in front of them. So that's what usually happens. It doesn't really go early, because if that was the case, I'm sure it took Julian Jackson, Joe McLennan, what was that, 94? When them two, 94. When those two went at it, even though they're both two big punches, it still went late. It went relatively late. The first fight. Second fight, I think McLennan blaps him out in 2 or 3 rounds. He clapped with a body shot, right? But when you're at that level, Tunde can tell you because he trains fighters. When you know that you're going and you've got two good fighters, for instance, two guys that can punch, Antiyard, Kovalev, did the fight end early? No, it didn't end early, because you're respecting of the skill of the next guy and also their punching power. So you could call it, there's been fights where we've had two good fighters going there and the fights have ended early. Then look at the career of the man that it ended early with. Tommy Hearns was an exception to the rule, because after losing to Marvin Hagler, he moves up in weight. He moves up in weight of 87, and he beats Dennis Andrews for the WBC like heavyweight title. Then he drops down, and then he beats Rodan to become the first man in history to win 4 world titles. That is that's not a regular thing. That's what
that's my favorite.
Big love to you as well, bro. I just want to answer.
Go on, big. Spence. I saw something by Rav 86. Can you get that about mental health, Gal? Yeah, Rav 86 says mental health is massive. Ryan Garcia openly speaks about his anxiety and depressions and how he copes. Really good for the sport of boxing, someone young talking about his vulnerabilities. And I'll tell you why I looked at that, Spence. Is because when I just watched that weigh-in, something never looked right with Ryan Garcia.
Remember, I said his eyes don't look right, bro. His eyes look wandering, but that could just be him.
It could be just him, yeah. As I said, he's got his way how he deals with depression. And speaking on that, again, another reason why I said the young kid that I've looked after for a few years, DeReese Grant, came on his Instagram yesterday, spoke, bruv, it almost had me in tears about, his mental health and how he's had to deal with it. Remember, DeReese is now a fashion model, done London Fashion Week, Paris, model for ASOS, Burberry, and he said it on screen. He lost his father. His father committed suicide, and now he's been bunning weed every day for the last 5 years. And fam, I was in total shock, because I'm like, Spence, I'm like, how did he keep this away from me? So for a young man like DeReese to come out and openly speak about this, and Ryan Garcia is on a totally different level. So yeah, it's good, man, because this thing is real. This year has shown me how real mental health is, and yeah, definitely. I don't know if Luke Campbell is gonna business about that when he gets in the ring, but anyone that can shine a light on mental health and how top athletes are dealing with this thing. Because wasn't there there's another boxer who died a few years back. Remember the Journeyman brothers? Didn't they commit? What's their names? You might even fought him. Carl Taylor.
No, I didn't fight him, but yeah.
I fought him. In my first and second fight. He
Well,
committed suicide. Yeah, I think he was one of the guys.
This thing's serious.
The Smith brothers. The Smith brothers. Remember them Smiths?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them committed suicide. So, you know.
You think there's been quite a few fighters who have committed suicide.
Yes.
Remember, like Danny Cash's Connor's brother committed suicide. Remember that?
Well, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, his brother committed suicide. I'm saying like this mental health in boxing, and not even in boxing, I'm saying mental health in life is worse because when guys are dealing with boxing, you got to think about this. It's only 5% of boxers globally that earn enough money to give up their day job.
Come on, talk on this.
Right?
Darren Sutherland, sorry, Darren Sutherland. Remember?
Now, Darren, let me tell you this. Darren Sutherland
was in the
gym. Darren Sutherland was training at our gym.
Bro.
At the Real Fight Club. So I used to see Darren every day. I used to sit down and say, Darren, man, you got some Mike McCullum with you. I used to sit down and watch videos with Darren Sutherland. I remember when I heard of him passing, it was you that I phoned to, remember?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I phoned you. I was in tears. And I don't know why that one's just gone out of my head, but it's just like, we kind of like to blank out certain things.
Yes.
Darren Sutherland, I remember that, you know, because it was a serious thing after that. I remember like the family stopped. The family.
Go on. No, I was going to say, wasn't Brian Lawrence had him?
Yeah, Brian was training him, right?
Wow.
And they stopped him. They stopped Maloney from going to the funeral, the family.
Yes, I remember.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a serious thing because Darren Sutherland, in my mind, would have been a world champion.
Yeah, he definitely had all the packages.
Well, it was serious.
He was a strong guy. He was committed to the game. Very sad. Very sad. Very sad.
Yeah.
There's a comment there by Campbell713. Do you think Garcia's team is rushing his career?
No.
Come on.
I got nothing to say.
Simple. No. These Campbell, what I would say is this. I just think that there's just too much on the line. This isn't like two area fighters or an area fighter we're dealing with. Like, this is someone who, as I said, Chris Mannix said he feels Garcia is the most important fighter this century for boxing. So that's what's going down on Saturday. I think, as Spencer said, he's taking liberties by saying that because you're just disrespecting Spence, Crawford. You're disrespecting these men, Lopez. But I get it in terms of marketability.
Yeah. Crossover
appeal. Yeah, definitely. And that's why Spencer's told you straight blank. And I just feel that's why I don't feel that because this will be a major upset and a major blow for Oscar as well.
Oscar's already lost Canelo.
Yeah, Canelo. Yeah,
loses you.
Yeah, that's how I think. That's what I think as well.
Right, man's taking liberties.
Ken Massey. Ken Massey. Okay.
What's this? Garcia is a beast. People don't realize how big Garcia is at 135 pounds. He's 5'10". Right? He's
at 135.
Lightning. Luke Campbell is going to sleep in 6 rounds. You know what? Luke Campbell's massive at the weight as well. Luke Campbell's the same height.
Trust me, Luke, and the way Luke's got them arms where he go like that.
Yeah. Luke Campbell's got a big man body.
Yeah, Luke's big as well. Don't get it twisted. Luke is big. Yeah, and I think Luke might be bigger than him on Fight Night.
Could be, possibly.
Yeah, Luke might be bigger than him on Fight Night. Yeah, Garcia is the same height as Luke.
James Douglas.
Yes.
Mental health is real. I have personally been through it. Mental health is real. When you see me, you'd think I struggle with anything I don't struggle with anything in life. Do you
Good
see
to see
guys?
you.
Yeah, do you see guys touching on this?
No,
Listen,
good to see
you
you.
guys, yeah,
Good to
yeah,
see
good
you
to see you
guys
guys
touching
touching.
this.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be real, yeah. I tell you why mental health in boxing is so serious. Because you're getting punched in the head for a living. On top of whatever ailments or demons that you could be going through. Right? And it's like we get a lot of boxers who suffer from anxiety. And it is the nervousness of the fights. And anyone telling you that they're going to a fight, they're not nervous, I can tell you you're looking at it. Because everyone gets the nerves. Everyone gets the jitters. Right? But I think it's perpetuated more so right now for the world or how we're being programmed. Check this one out now. It's like if people don't get a certain amount of likes on Instagram or on Twitter or on Facebook, they delete the post. You see this?
Wow.
Because now I've noticed that how they've organized this world now, they've organized the world that we're always looking for validation. Not
Validation from others. Yeah.
validation.
Validation from others. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Self-validation. I mean, I'm cool. All I got to do is look in the mirror every day.
Come on.
Right? And I'm validated. I know, like, from when I wake up in the morning, I'm validated. That means I've won. That means
you do send me a lot of videos of yourself, though.
Yeah, don't worry about it, right? It's not like the old days where I should say me just grab up there and go on myself.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Right? So
go.
It's funny games aside, it's about people knowing that you don't need to seek validation from anybody else.
What I would say as well on that, a lot of these young kids enter into the sport of boxing with dreams of becoming millionaires. And I think the realization of how hard this sport is to earn a living contributes to the mental health. Because you're there telling your wife or your girlfriend or your family, yeah, don't worry, mum. Fam, we're still gonna be rich. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, Spence. You're there in your head thinking that you're just gonna roll up and be an AJ or Anthony Yard. I want you to know how hard it is to make money. You're there. I remember when I turned pro, I was thinking, fam, couple fights, man's balling. Then I was getting paid £200. I was like, what, bro, I might as well stay on the road.
Bruv.
It's so difficult. And I know for an actual fact, being a fighter, being a trainer, being a manager, that a lot of boxers who become professional have in their mind that they're going to be rich.
Bruv.
I'm telling you, Spence.
You don't need to tell me that. I've managed, promote, trained, I've fought myself. I was very fortunate to have sponsors. God rest Danny Mardell's soul in paradise. Right?
Danny Mardell.
There's a serious brother, man. Trust me, man would use Rolls Royce for a week.
Bro, I was in that Rolls Royce.
I'm telling you. So,
didn't he have a place near the Porsche place?
Yeah.
I remember you took me there.
That's right.
Yeah. You took me there. Yeah, I remember that.
And so,
Danny Mardell.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And what guys don't realize in this sport, that is very hard, and it is 5% that earn enough. 5%. You think about all the thousands of boxers in the world, only 5% earn enough to not have a day job. And what it goes is this, is that so many guys are so dedicated to this sport that they don't have a day job anyway. They're thinking, if I have a day job, I'm taken away from my rest period. I'm taken away from all the rest of it. And then you got to turn around and think. Go back to the 30s and 40s. In America, fighters had day jobs. They'd work on rocks. They'd work in the mills. They would work. And I remember it was manual labor, so it kind of contributed to the toughness that they had to go do. And then they would leave their workplace and then go to the gym and train.
Yes,
You get early morning, go run, then go to work.
I remember
So
for a long time. Sorry,
exactly.
Karen, talking. Sorry.
These things do contribute to this thing because, and that's why now social media has come into play where boxers who just turned pro post every minute. Oh, I went for a run. Oh, because they realize that's my job. But because
Come on.
you know how much youths are fighting on TV now and lucky to see $5 grand.
You telling me?
All right.
Come on, man. I'm in this thing.
Right.
And the thing about it, they're lucky to see $5 grand, but yet on your Insta, you're flossing.
Yeah.
You're flossing. You're moving like you got peas, but you ain't got peas.
Yeah, you got to go in 5 minutes.
This thing's hard. And you got to remember, if you get that, if you're lucky, all right, let's say you get a 10 grand for a fight, and you need to be at a certain level to get a 10 grand for a fight.
All right.
Or you need to at least, maybe you've come with pedigree. That's why you're getting that amount of money so early on. Or you're a TV media star like the Fury brother.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Love Island, yeah. But there's not many of these people. So if you are lucky enough to get a 10,000 or 20,000 or even 30,000, well, first of all, you're getting taxed on that. So that's then you're paying board tax. Then you're paying 4% to the border control.
Then you're paying a manager. Then you're paying a trainer.
Then you pay a manager. Then you pay a trainer. So don't be fooled, young fighters.
Check this one out. You're a trainer, 35%.
Listen, yeah, I'm the one who broke that mold. Well, I don't know if I've broken it because I don't see anyone doing what I'm doing, but that's another story.
Right. But that's what I'm saying to you. Manager and trainer by British Border Control standard regulation rules, section 35 of the Green Booklet, right?
Yes.
Right. It says that the manager is entitled to 25% of your earnings. Right? Trainer standard 10%. It's negotiable, but trainer standard 10%. That's 35%.
Yes.
So if you just fought for 10 grand, yeah, your £3.5 grand's gone already. So that's £6,500, right? Yeah. Then you got to pay board tax. Anything over, was it 2.5 grand?
Yep.
Is 4% to the border control.
Yep.
Right? Then after that, you got to pay your ordinary tax. So depending on what tax bracket that you fall into, you're still paying 20-30% tax.
Yes, it's a tough sport, and I mean we've given them a bit too much knowledge there, but you know what I'm saying. But we've broken it down. You know, a lot of this contributes to fighters' health, mental health. A-Ob says Dan Aziz said without his sponsors, he would have to get a job last year. Come on.
Exactly. And you know what I mean? And I have to big up Dan Aziz, very, very good fighter. English like heavyweight champion. I could see in the new year, him and Craig Richards getting it on. I can see that. We're in the new year now, so I can see them two fighting this year.
Yeah, Dan is a serious, solid fighter, and I've said it from day one.
Yeah, I can see that. And the truth. And like I said, thank God for the sponsors. You know what I mean? Thank God for the sponsors. But also I'm saying to fighters, know your value.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Know your value. But do you see this nonsense about fake it till you make it? I think that's all a bag of bullshit, mate.
Fake it till you don't make it. That's what it's supposed to be. Fake it till you don't make it. About fake it till you make it. What are you faking? Because it's part of the faking why you're suffering from mental health. Because you're putting pressure on yourself that ain't there. Exactly. It's better you don't wear no chain. You get what I'm saying? Until you make something. Exactly. Until you make something. And let me just say, for those who think I'm showing off, I never paid for this. This come from the hood. The hood bought me this. Me and Spence, we don't wear jewelry. We don't. Spence taught me to have a nice watch. Yep, that's it. That's a part of it. That's all I've ever had, and even I ain't even got no watch. So but listen, I wouldn't. I know how hard boxing is. I know how hard it is to make money, and I wouldn't show off pretending that I've got something when I haven't got it, unless it was given to me as a gift, as this was. So that's just the truth. Um,
Yeah.
that's a
Oh,
good question from Volts UK. He said, breaking news: Canelo has just vacated his WBA 160 belt. Can we get Charlo Eubanks unification? But has Eubanks got a belt at 160?
no, he hasn't.
Yeah. So what unification are you chatting about? Oh, maybe no.
No, it isn't.
Maybe if the maybe if Charlo's got the other belts and then
No,
he
Charles got the WBC.
yeah and then the WBA is on the line.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
guess that's what he means.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting,
You know what?
interesting.
Al Heyman,
We'll make that happen.
it will because you listen. This is how it goes. Is this you sign with Al Heyman? You're not gonna fight regular, but you're gonna get the most money, right?
Yes.
That's just how it goes. And Al Heyman's a businessman like anybody else. I think Chris Eubanks Sr. Um, was a little bit despondent after Eubanks won appearance with Al Heyman. And no, Eubank hasn't got the IBO title anymore, right? And I think he was a bit despondent thinking that, right, we're going to get these regular fights. But you have to realize this now, we're on a world lockdown. So the fights that happen now are the fights that are absolutely necessary to happen. And you can't be thinking, well, I'm just going to do this, do that. You have to fight the best. So, and unfortunately, Eubanks' fight got stopped through, what was it? The guy got injured or something, yeah?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah. So, but that fight seemed, Eubank didn't really look good to me, even though it was only 2 rounds. But Eubank didn't look good.
Mm,
They should give Eubank and Charlo, because one thing you have to give Eubank Jr., he'll fight anybody.
yes.
He'll fight you.
Will he?
He
But
will.
he didn't fight GGG though.
He didn't fight because the reason why, I can tell you why that happened. Because
Yeah.
they thought that the dad, not necessarily his delusion of grandeur, but the dad thought like we can hold out a bit to get more money.
Okay.
Right? It was dad saying, no. If my son fights, you have to pay. Right?
yeah.
And you guys in there talking in the office like, yeah, you got to pay my son X amount of money and blah 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 blah. No, sir, that's not happening. And then like Eddie said, look, we need the thing signed today so I could get it signed off. And Eubank was ramping like, no, you're not demanding to me what I must sign. You're a little boy to me. And then they went with Kell Brook. They said, well, it's been slots being filled now.
Okay.
It was kind of Eubank's own fault, but there wasn't the case that Eubank Jr. wasn't willing to fight Golovkin because he's willing to fight them. Man. Trust me, he's willing to fight. But the Charlo fight, he's been calling Charlo quite a few times, seen him on PBC show saying that you want to fight Charlo. Well, now that Canelo has vacated the WBA title, that fight could happen. Matthew says, do you still want to see Brook versus Khan? No, I don't.
Listen, a year ago, I said this. No, a year ago, I said before this is Kell fighting Crawford. I said this was before the Brook versus. I said Khan and Brook should just have their P45 fight and done.
Yeah,
that's what they should have done before.
You can't have it now. You got broke up by Brook. Brook got broke up by Terence Crawford. Yeah. Khan got broke up by Terence Crawford.
Yeah, both of them.
Right.
So it's like it's not even a fight now that I feel people really want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's the only thing. I mean, because we know we're not looking at guys even with, I don't know, 80% left of their careers. It's less than 80% left of what they were as fighters. And I think that
why I have no interest in watching it.
But just out of interest, who would you win? Who would you give? Who would you have winning that fight at this stage?
Amir Khan.
You see, I told you, fam. When I'm telling you, man ain't listening to me because Brook has been in hard fights now, bro, and the way he just unfolded in that fight, I felt sorry for him.
Yeah,
you know, and despite Khan being, as they say, chinny, I don't like to call no man chinny, but I still think Khan, with them rapid hands, he could hurt you. You know,
I would have Khan winning that fight.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
bruv, this is called The Fight Is Right. Amir, Kel, I want you two to have your last paydays. Bruv, people, even though we say we wouldn't want to see it, people would still pay to. I reckon the fans in England would still pay for that fight. I'll be the promoter. I'll promote the fight and I hype it up on a different note. And BH is saying, Blake, don't mess this up, man. The people want us on for longer than 6 more minutes. But anyway.
Well, BH says knowledge. Who are your 3 best trainers in the UK? You see that one there? I think Booth, McGuigan, Caldwell are streets ahead of the rest. Right?
Yes.
You see that one, Gary? I want to quickly answer that one.
Abe Ob says top 3 fights you want to see in 2021.
That's quite easy. AJ Tyson Fury. Yep. I also want to see Teofimo Lopez versus Tank. And I want to see Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. They're my 3 fights.
Come on.
They're my 3 fights.
Yeah, Lopez against Tank. Yeah. Spence against Garcia. Errol Spence against Terence Crawford and AJ against Fury. Yeah, you got. I doubt if there's anyone that could match that.
Nope.
Those are the fights.
You can't. Seriously.
I'll be honest with you. The biggest one is AJ Fury.
Yeah, of course it is. A big fight. I mean, I spoke to AJ yesterday. I was in a barbershop.
Okay.
And he FaceTimed me. He bun down the barbershop. Everyone in the barbershop was cracking up.
Question, just how we're on this. Pro-Beat said earlier that AJ should watch out for Fury's mental games. Because if AJ gets into the mental games, then, bruv, it's going to be long. But I didn't answer the question because we was kind of skipping. But I'm saying you, man, must think AJ's dumb. Bruv.
It's highly intelligent you.
AJ smart as well, fam. I'm telling. Sorry, stop saying fam. You know, I'm trying to get that out of my vocabulary. I don't know how it creeped in. I think I've been around you too long, Spencer. But people going on like AJ is thick. My man, you don't do what, and you don't achieve what that man has achieved being silly, not being a mental strategist. And I just think there are 2 strategies. Both of them are strategies. It's just that one is showing you, we all know what Fury's about. He will get in your head, but AJ can get in your head as well. Like you see how AJ rough up Pulev. He's like, fam, don't try to go like you're bad. Don't try to, when you get in there tomorrow, you know what it is. See all that kind of talk. That's mental strategy. And don't underestimate Anthony Joshua. He knows what he's doing. And I'm saying that's what makes the fight most intriguing for me, because we're going to see 2 guys highly intelligent. One appears to have the greater boxing IQ, but one does have boxing IQ. But I feel because he's banging man out, you kind of underestimating the fact that he studies boxing. I know Spencer will back me up on that. Anthony Joshua studies boxing.
Well, now he does. He never used to.
Okay, maybe that's because he talks to you.
Yeah, now he does. I've got to give him that. Properly.
Yeah.
We've got yourself smashed now. But the difference with this, someone like Tyson Fury, he's been immersed inside boxing from he come out of his mother's womb. There is a difference. You know what I mean?
But again, sorry to stop that. I hear that, but most boxers start at a young age. Most boxers, they. I guess I'm trying to hear what you're saying, and I guess you're right, because it's like Daniel Dubois and the family. They're actually born into this thing.
Yep.
Yeah, they weren't gonna ever do anything different.
All right.
Yeah. So I get that. I
mean, it doesn't give you heart though. But what I am saying is you're born into it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I ain't going into this no more because people think I've got something against Daniel Dubois. I haven't. He just quit the other day. That is it. I'm not going into it.
He what? What did he say?
He quit when he fought Joe Joyce.
Yeah, that's another show. We're gonna be here all day. We're gonna touch on that maybe another time, but I don't believe that. But anyway, but Leon Figures.
You don't believe it.
You see, you're gonna make me go to it, but I don't
No, but I'm
listen.
telling you now, that's your business. You don't believe it.
All right, Spence. I'm not gonna argue with you, man. I'm not gonna
All right.
argue. We're gonna touch on it
Dark
on
night
another
barbershop
show.
in tier 4, Spence. That's right. Barbershops in tier 4. That's how we roll.
No, go back to Leon Figures. We didn't even go back to Leon Figures, please. AJ will not be susceptible to Fury's mind games. He's heard it, all the abuse after the Ruiz loss. Again, correct. Correct, sir. Correct, sir. Anyway, October Red says AJ is far from stupid, but he does get rattled. Fury mentally destroyed Wilder before he got in the ring. Fury is awkward. AJ will deal with it in the ring. Spencer, answer that one because I could touch up. We actually finished now, but go on, Spence. Finish up with that.
I'm saying I totally agree with what you're saying there, October Red, or as I like to call you, Red October.
Red October.
Red October. With Bridget Wilson, right? I'm saying, Arnold Schwarzenegger, big boy film.
Come on.
I'm saying that when people are saying about Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua are two different people.
There you go.
Of course you can rattle Deontay Wilder because it's not hard to rattle him. Deontay Wilder takes everything personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder blocked me off of Instagram.
Bro, did I block you?
He blocked me, sir.
Nah, but you see, that's why you're slow, bro. We should have blocked him before he blocked you.
No, but I wasn't following him, but I know he blocked me.
Oh yeah. Anyway, carry on.
All right, so
I just saw a disrespect comment from Boxing Loser Star, but guys, carry on answering.
People there. So I'm saying we're all about the mind games and I think Anthony Joshua is mentally prepared for the mind games that Tyson Fury would bring.
Yes.
Right, because he's seen it, right? But also Tyson Fury is very bloody good, right? So I wouldn't be worried about the mind games. I would worry about his game plan in the fight. Don't worry about no mind games. It's the game plan in the fight because you know what he's going to bring. So therefore, don't be susceptible to it. But it's more to do with how he gets past that jab of the herky jerky jab. You know, that kind of little pub man shuffle when they throw that jab.
Can I just say one thing which stuck in my mind? I heard Tyson Fury said when they sparred, AJ broke him up.
Yeah, but that was about 6-7 years ago, 8 years ago. No?
But AJ's got better since then.
No, sorry, that was AJ wasn't even pro when they sparred.
Yeah, AJ's got better than him. So don't you think mentally,
that's in
his head, carrying that in his head?
But you know what? Whereas you're getting so many people in boxing don't give Anthony Joshua a chance.
Yes.
You know, the suggestion that is made to yourself is more powerful than the suggestion made by others. Come
on.
But
talk the thing.
Of others and the people in your group, Anthony Joshua needs man like me and you around to say that he can beat Tyson Fury for him to believe that he can beat Tyson Fury.
Nah. He's got that, bro. But he's got that.
Can't tell you nothing.
No. But we're good. But AJ knows, he must know that I'm backing, man, and he knows you. So he has got us in the camp. Maybe not right there daily, but he's got us. He knows he can pick up phones about or whatever.
Yeah, cool. Send me some camp money.
yeah, okay. So we charge by the hour. So Anthony Joshua, we charge by the hour. So but no, I do think that AJ is mentally stable within himself. I believe personally. This is just me personally. I believe that he feels he will knock out Tyson Fury. That's what I feel. That's from what I can, the energy that I can assess from AJ. I don't feel that he feels intimidated. No time. I just feel that he wants his business correct. Well, he's got to be the A side. We're offering you the money. You ain't offering us the money. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Man's moving. But I don't think that either of them don't want the fight. I think they both want the fight, and I think it's going to be great for British boxing. As what's the guy's name? Bashir. Is it Ali Bashir? Spence, the vet trainer.
Yeah. Ali, Mr. Bashir. Yeah.
Mr. Bashir. He said the other night, you guys in the UK are blessed. Boxing is in the UK. You guys are the heartbeat of boxing right now. So and at the height of it is the heavyweight. So fam, we're winning. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. Ladies and gentlemen, Spencer's got things to do. I got food to eat. I ain't even ate my food yet. I saw a comment that said that you lot have to do the post fight.
1,000,000%.
And we will, sir.
We should do it live when the fight's on.
What, bro? I don't want to get fined like you said. Like, who was streaming the fight? Someone was streaming the fight.
You don't stream the fight. All you do, you watch the fight going on, and we'll just speak about the fight throughout the fight. We should do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Let's do that.
Let's do that. Gal, sort that. Gal, can we sort that out?
Gary. Yeah, I mean.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that then. Let's do that.
Talk through and break down the fight as it's on a watch along on the Soul site.
YouTube.
The Fight Is Right YouTube channel, and we're gonna break down the fight as it's going on.
Yeah, lovely. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're Gary
right now, Gary.
Gary, make that poster straight.
So Gary looking like Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, from your brother, your friend, sometimes your teacher, but I leave that part to Spencer. Dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down. Thank you very much for joining us. I mean,
yes,
peace, 2 fingers. I'm out. Later.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let's go.